Serpent, and for the fourth time this morning, I am recording this intro. I am starting a new series, and it's going to be a Minecraft survival. I've already done some stuff because I started this world before I started YouTube, and I don't really want to start over. I made a mob farm here. It still works. That's good. And since I started the world before I started YouTube, and it's all not familiar to anyone, I'm going to do a pre-series world tour. So while I crash into stuff, the world spawn, which I can't get to. The world spawn is over there, and the first thing I made was this hideous mineshaft. But before I get into anything, I am going to make sure that this is actually recording. Success! It actually recorded. Okay, so that's good. Now I can actually show you this hideous thing. You get to it, you get up and down through this minecart elevator, and when we get down, you can see that the interior actually looks pretty good, considering all I had was wood, and if I was being really lavish, I could cook up cobblestone into stone. And as you can see, I've basically mined out every single one of these. And true to Serpent fashion, I've started mining out the ones I haven't built yet. And that basically means that I'm going to expand this pretty soon. And hopefully when I do, I'm going to fix the ugliness and also the fact that you can't get out of this minecart elevator. The second thing I built was actually a house up there that stores the firsts of items I get. It doesn't store all of them, but yeah. And then the third thing I built was this amazing bridge that took me hours to do. It was actually made out of cobblestone first, so I've built it twice. It's pretty impressive. And then my tree house is over here. Everyone needs a tree house, of course. And just ignore that. Inside it looks pretty good. Outside it might be a little cartoonish and bulgy, but it's still pretty good. Up this rickety staircase is my living room with some stuff. There's Peter Fang, which I captured pretty soon after building it. A couple furnaces, some goodies, more junk. And then there's this brewing stand, which you don't have to watch every minute. The ingredients go in. The ingredients go in at they go in when there's nothing in here, so you can basically just put a recipe in and it'll make a potion. As you can see, you can jump off into this pool. Well, it's more of a puddle, it's not a pool. But yeah. Then inside there's a speed arrow dispenser, a shulker box dispenser, not that one, this one. Then down here is an AFK fish farm, and down here is a root, and in it is a cobblestone breath. It still works. The pickaxe cycler that I built for it never did, so I'll be fixing that at some point too. When we go out, there is this, and it's got some villagers in it, and it was my first villager breed, and I built it here because that's where I captured the zombie villagers. Whoops. Here's the detector villager. So I've already moved those over to my main base, most of them. Some of them were too valuable to be test subjects. So, yeah. And then over here is my mob farm. And if we go up, that's the water. That's the pipes that carries the water. There's a timer on top, and my first nether portal for some reason is up there. That's the AFK point. There's another AFK point and another one. I was testing which one got the most mobs because I couldn't tell whether or not they were despawning before they hit that. Probably not, because I was actually getting stuff. If we hit a button on the back, their water comes out, and that makes this saves the mobs from dying, and they all fall into this chamber where you can kill them with a sword, and that'll get you XP. Now that we've done that, we can move on to the main base. So, as you can see, it's a giant pit, and that's purposeful. Really, this is the biggest thing I've done, and that's the whole reason I built the mob farm. It was to get the gunpowder to make the TNT. And it's basically supposed to eventually look a bit chaotic, and there are supposed to be ropes going across back and forth to little platforms, and that's where my builds will be, behind the platforms and caves. It'll look cool, trust me. However, it's not nearly finished, and it's probably going to take a while. I'm going to have to clear out all the little patches of stone. Anyway, down here is the villager breeder I talked about earlier, and it sort of broke a little. Not entirely, but yeah. Basically, all of these villagers are supposed to be up there in a little container, and they aren't. Hold on. Let me take a second to fix this. Try and fix this lag. Okay, I fixed it. Now they were supposed to be up there, 2 on either side of the fence post, and then the baby villagers would be shoved out into this pit where there would be water. At one point, they were all in there. It was working fine. And then the next time I logged on, they had sprayed across and fallen into the pit. So, in other words, that bit's worthless, and now all the villagers are supposed to be in here. And I'll do something about that to do something with them. Anyway, so at least they're still breeding, and it works. That's a plus. So, moving on, as I crawl through this cave, over here is my bedroom. It's pretty gorgeous. And then in here is a grass and mycelium farm. You basically mine out all of these and replace them with dirt. Since I don't want these things in my inventory, I shall do that. Apparently I'm missing a torch somewhere. Anyway, something will go in there eventually. Apparently right now it's just a zombie storage unit. I usually carry a bucket of water on me. Anyway, while I put myself out, over there is a cow farm, and it's full of sheep, because I decided I'd stick sheep in with the cows. I'm not sure how well that worked, because the cows seem to get all the wheat. In any case, you hit that button if you want more cows to breed, and more sheep. You don't hit this one. If you do, you hit it. Or if you hit it, all the little babies will be moved elsewhere. And where they'll be moved is they'll be pulled over to the side here, and the trapdoor on this side, whoops, will open, and they'll all fall down, and then they'll be shoved under a piece of lava. when they grow up, well, we don't really like to talk about it, but yeah, that's the cow farm. And over here is a prisoner of wherever this is. It's got some pretty handsome banners. Totally unrelated to me. Over here is a super smelterish thing, and right now it's completely out of fuel. And if we stick some fuel in, it'll light up and start cooking. Over here is another one that I built because I was too lazy to go get some more fuel. And here's some of the results of my end rating. Cocoa bean farm in quotations. In the end, I haven't really done much except kill the Ender Dragon and raid some end cities, so there's nothing to show there. And over here is a little cave with some more of those brewing stands. If I'm quiet, you can't hear the portal going off over and over again, and that's because I have a resource pack on that gets rid of that. It also changes diorite to that, granite to that, and a couple other things too, like getting rid of the purple bit on the end rod. If we go in here, you can see that I have dug some pretty long tunnels, but nothing's happened. The idea is you jump into the cobweb, take out your fireworks, and fly. If we go over here, which I'm not going to because it's a long walk, there's a what's it called? There's another fortress, and then also, also a long walk up there is another fortress, and that one actually has a blaze spawner. You come out at this point in case you want to. Sorry, I just bumped the mic. Hopefully that didn't make such a horrible sound that you're all dead or have no ears. I think that's basically it. If I think of anything, if I've missed anything, it'll show up in the next episode, which will come out in a couple days, I'm presuming. Yeah, I think that's about it. Goodbye.